Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I realized we have not done drawing since long. So I thought I'll keep today's video for flower drawing. So we're going to draw some simple flowers, easy to do and with simple steps. So let's start with the first one. So you can create a small oval shape and the direction of the oval shape define the perspective of your flower. So make sure you're doing it in that way. So my flower is more tilted towards the right side. So I have created a small oval shape and then around it you can create petals. These petals are pointed. You can start with smaller and bigger and then you can also create some behind petals as well. And the only difference is the smaller petals are in the downward direction. So that is why you are getting the perspective. So if you are not creating smaller and bigger petals like these, you might not get the same kind of perspective. So it is important to create bigger petals towards upward side and smaller petals towards downward side. And something like this you will get at the end. You can create a stem and then you can also create leaves. So this is the guideline. Now let's trace everything quickly with the help of pen. It is safer to do things with the help of pencil first and then you can trace everything easily. So I like to do something like this, but you can do things directly with the help of pen also. It is totally fine to do that. Now once done with the tracing, you can create one line in between the petals as a part of shading and detailing. Although I'm not concentrating on sketching part, so you can create simple petals and create one center line, and then for the center part of the flower you can make it little darker. So you can create some dark patches in between and then you can create small dots around it to make it look like these are stem. Now you can create a stem and then you can create leaf. We are trying to create different kind of leaf and different kind of flower. So my first leaves are simple, little longer, pointed, and you can also create folds around it. So to create folds, you can do some triangle kind of pattern inside the leaf around the edge, and then you can fill those area with more darker shade. And something like this you will get at the end. If you want, you can create more lines and pattern around the leaf as well. But I think this much is totally fine. We are done with the first one. Now let's move to the second flower. So for the second flower also we are going to create some basic guideline with the help of pencil. So I'm thinking to create a circle and you can have more flowers in between, but I am creating only one. Then you can divide it into equal half and then you can create one bigger petal which is inside the circle and couple of petals around it to cover the circle. Now you will get something like this and then you can create the center part of the flower. Because of lower petal that we have created, the whole perspective has changed, and that is why the placement of petals and the size of petals are important whenever you are drawing some different perspective of flowers. Now you can create the center part of the flower little darker. You can also create some stamen in between with the help of pen directly. So I'm tracing everything and creating the center part of the flower. Because this is the side perspective, you can also create sepals, the green element which we see at the base of the flower. And then for the leaf, I'm doing same thing what I did in the first flower, but this time the leaves are having serration around the edge. So you can create some pointed leaf. The only difference is we have serration in the leaves in this particular flower. And then you can do a little bit of extra shading and detailing. You can create some folds around the leaf and you can create some dark patches. You can create some lines and pattern around the petal area as a part of shading and detailing. So those things you can definitely do. So we are done with these two flowers. Now let's do the third one. So third one is tulip, and for that you can create an oval kind of shape, standing oval, and then you can create little thicker stem because tulip has very defined stem in it. And then you can divide the oval shape into two bigger petals left and right, and then couple of petals you can create at the top, assuming we have some other petals as well in the behind. Now the leaves are a little longer, so you can create a little longer leaf, and I think that's it. We are done with the drawing. Now let's trace everything with the help of pen. I think tulip is the easiest flower to draw because you only have to create an oval shape, and then you can divide the oval shape into different petals in a different way, and that's how you can create different perspective of tulip as well. To create different perspective of flower, I think it is very important to learn, and I have created many videos around the past wherein I have explained different perspective of flower and how we can draw it in very simple and easy step and step by step also. So you can have a link into my description section wherein you will get all the videos in one place, and you can definitely go around those to learn different perspective of flower drawing. Now I have done a little bit of shading and detailing. I did some line and pattern around the petal area to make it more darker. So you can do some hatching and cross hatching around the petal area. Hatching means creating parallel line, and cross hatching means creating cross line around those parallel line. The more line you will create, the darker shade you will get. And then you can rub the unwanted pencil mark, and we are done with the first row. Now we can start with the second one. So in the first row we have only one single flower. So in the second one I want to create a group of flowers. So my first flower is simple. You can create a small round shape to create the center part of the flower, and then you can create petals like these. Now because we are creating group, I think the perspective of flower is important. So here you can create different perspective. So this flower is more tilted towards the sky. So you can see the lower petal is very sleek and other petals are normal. And because of that lower petal, this is more like this is facing towards the sky. Same thing we are repeating for the downward side perspective as well. Again, you can create one petal little smaller and fine, and rest of the petals normal in size, and you will see the difference in the perspective. Now we have three different kind of perspective. I think this much is enough. Now you can think about stems and leaf. So I'm creating stems for all the flowers that we have, and then for the leaf I'm creating a substring and then small leaves around it left and right. So you can create these kind of leaves throughout the stem and around the flower area. You can also create some small leaf as well. You can definitely combine different kind of leaf, that is totally fine. And then just trace everything with the help of pen. So nothing fancy here, we are tracing things whatever we have done with the help of pencil. And if you want, you can make it more darker because leaves are smaller in size. So that is something you can definitely do. So I'm keeping this one as is for now. And as a part of shading for the petals, you can create one line in the center. So that's it for this particular one. I think this much is enough, and let's move to the next one. Before that, you can definitely rub all the unwanted pencil mark. Now let's do the another one. So again we need to create a basic guideline, and we are creating group of flowers. So I'm creating couple of circle. You can keep two circle very closer to each other to create some overlapped flower, which is also important whenever you are trying to create a group of flower. And then you can think about leaf. For every flower we are creating different kind of leaf. So for this one I have created some random serration into the leaf area. Now this flower is easy to draw. You can create 3 to 4 petals in the circle itself, and all these flowers are side perspective, so we are seeing the side of the flower. So no need to create the center part of the flower, but you can create the sepals at the base of the flower. So just trace everything quickly with the help of pen. By the way, I'm using size 0.2 needle pen. You can use normal ball pen also, it is totally fine. The only thing you need to consider while using ball pen, wait until the ink have dried completely, otherwise it will spread into your sheet and might ruin your drawing. So take care of that thing if you're using ball pen. If you're using needle pen like mine, then no worries. Now I have created sepals little darker and then some random leaves having some random serration into it, and you can do a little bit of line and shading around the petal area. Couple of lines, we don't have to make it too dark, so couple of lines are totally fine. And then some dark patches around the edge of the leaf to make it look like these are small folds around it. So I think this much is enough for this particular flower. Easy to draw and how simple it is, right? So we're done with this one as well, and let's move to the last one. For the last one also, let's do some basic guideline, creating some circle, some overlapped flower, so creating these circles close to each other, and then you can create stem. Maybe we can create one more flower here, half visible, that's why half circle only. And then for the leaf you can create substring, and then you can create one leaf left side, one leaf right side, and one in the center, creating a group kind of thing. So with the help of pen directly you can create petals. This time the petals are very smaller in size, so you can create something like this throughout the circle, smaller in size, and make it bushier, creating more and more so that we can have multiple petals going around the center part of the flower. And same thing we need to repeat for all the 3 circles that we have. And I think this flower is the simplest one to draw. Then you can trace rest other thing, leaf and stem and all those things, and you can do little bit of hatching and cross hatching around the leaf area as well. So as a part of shading and detailing you can do so many things to beautify your drawing, but the focus on today's video is not on the shading but to learn how we can draw these things. So I think you have understood what needs to be done, and we are done with today's video. We are done with all the 6 flower. If you want you can do more shading and detailing around the leaf area and the petal area if needed. And please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video with one more simple video.